これでも食らえマジかよ
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
Worst anime protagonists. Who is the worst anime protagonist? We're not talking about main characters you're supposed to hate like Shinji from Evangelion. No, we're talking about characters who are as annoying as a wet sock. Completely insufferable. The characters that single-handedly ruin the entire experience. In this video, we'll be talking about a few such anime protagonists. Don't even worry about getting offended. These are the characters that pretty much every anime fan hates.
I'm the trash man!
The first one on our list is Arita Haruki from A Cell World. He literally looks like a South Park character, and don't get me wrong, his looks aren't the reason he's one of the worst anime characters. After all, we have Takeo from Ore Monogatari, who is genuinely one of the best shoujo anime protagonists. So if it's not the fact that he looks like a South Park character, what is it? Yes, he's short and cartoony, but he is also a clingy, whiny little crybaby. That's the problem. If he actually pulled himself together and received some character development here and there, his character design would have been a plus, but it's not even if he grows and gets some development. He goes back to the same old stupid coward in the same episode, simply leaves a bad taste in your mouth. Moving on, we have Takemichi from Tokyo Revengers. Now imagine a 26-year-old, a grown-ass man who wakes up in the body of his middle school self and still acts like a whiny, obnoxious little clown. I guess this is what you call a man-child, but I do understand the story's intentions though. Tokyo Revengers is about a weak person finding courage and strength despite the insanely abnormal situation he finds himself in, and it wouldn't be phenomenal if it wasn't for the time travel. Yes, if he was actually just a weak-ass middle school student, the weakness would have done wonders for his character, but no! He doesn't use his brain despite having so much more life experience.
You're a dumb.
And continuously gets out of situations merely because of luck. Well, at least the manga ends on a more acceptable note.
お前の姉ちゃんは死ぬ。その時、お前も一緒に死ぬんだ。
ネジ、何してんの
At number 5, we have Nijima from Love and Lies, and he is an indecisive little wuss. You'd want to pluck your hair over how bad he is. The story itself takes place in a future where everyone fertile enough has to marry and have kids, but the problem is that the government is the one who assigns girls and boys to each other. It's arranged marriage on a mass scale. Interesting plot, but the protagonist is insufferable, which is why it's so frustrating to see girls who deserve better still hanging over him. He's the textbook definition of a nice guy, and I don't mean that in a good way. He's a nerd who can't even stand up straight because he is always too flustered, confused, and nervous. Nobody wants to see a male lead who is a pathetic little wuss.
江島君
高崎さん僕はずっと5年間これでも食らえマジかよ
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
Number 4. Taichi Nishimura. Isekai cheat magician. But what about the protagonist who is the very definition of the generic, bland, and boring main character we always joke and make memes about? The protagonist of Isekai Cheat Magician is exactly that. You can watch the show and yet you won't have anything to say about it. It's hollow, empty. You see, even with trashy anime, you can at least talk about things, but with Isekai Cheat Magician and its main character, there truly is nothing. It's a truly mid-anime with a truly mid-protagonist. Take Conception for example. People call it the worst isekai ever, but at least it keeps you interested because of how bad it is and how bad it can get. Isekai Cheat Magician can't even do that. It's mind-numbingly hollow.
水晶玉に手を
はい。
Oh my god! Wow!
分かってるよ。でも僕弱いんだもん。
しんどけ。
At number 3, we have The Future Diary, or Mirai Nikki, if you will. It's funny whenever people hear about this anime, they immediately think of Yuno, the pink-haired yandere. No one ever thinks of the protagonist. People who haven't even watched the anime remember Yuno's name, but none remembers the name of the protagonist. He is stupid, naive, and wimpy, and he is also forgettable. The story of Future Diary is about him and his classmate Yuno getting dragged into a death game, but while Yuno is a psychopath, he is just a 14-year-old kid, which is why it only makes sense for him to be wimpy. He doubts Yuno and is scared of her, which also makes sense, but even though she continues to save him from a life-threatening situation, he still doesn't believe in her and keeps being afraid. Yes, some people think of The Future Diary as an edgy show, and to be honest, it is, but the protagonist is easily the worst part. People watch the show for Yuna, not for him anyways.
デッドエンド。3時間後僕は。
大丈夫だよ。あいつは絶対私が殺すから。
今日は楽しかったね。
はい。
それじゃあ。
Moving on, we have Makoto from School Days at number 2. You'd be hard-pressed to find a character, let alone a protagonist, who gets this much hate from the anime community. Guys, what we have here is an immature, pitiful male protagonist with a weak sense of morality. It all starts off with his feelings for a beautiful class fellow, but as the story continues and he is surrounded by girls with personal issues and weak self-images, he realizes how easy it is to sleep with them. He does it again and again and again. It isn't even cheating or infidelity. He simply does not care about the girls. He sees them as pieces of meat, and the only thing he seeks is that the next girl he can sleep with. And as you can expect, the girl he started his relationship with and his female friend who helped him out, his constant sleeping around destroys them both. And it all ends with not one, but 2 deaths. 2 of them die, and the last one is permanently crippled with mental illness for the rest of her life. It's a dark, satirical portrayal of how harem animes can be much more sinister than what they appear to be. And as a protagonist, Makoto Ito deserves our hate. He was written to be a hateable, detestable character after all. He is the worst, but while he is supposed to be this way unironically, what about the final protagonist on our list?
カツラ、君の唇に夢中。彼女だよな。
Number 1. Kazuya Kinoshita, Rent a Girlfriend. While Makoto is written to be detestable, Kazuya is simply a simp. He is a combination of Takemichi from Tokyo Revengers and Ijima from Love and Lies. And I say this as someone who has read the manga. It's insane how just when he starts getting a bit better in the movie arc, the story flips it, and just like that, he is back to being his normal wimpy self. To begin with, the premise doesn't help in letting the fans view him as someone respectable because he is literally renting a girl to be his girlfriend. And then he ropes her into playing along with the farce he has created in front of his family. He's trash. He never gets any better and does plenty of questionable stuff, not worth anyone's time. Seriously, I may recommend School Days because it's a good psychological thriller, but I would not recommend this anime. Just stay away. And with that said, there you guys have it. These are some of the worst anime protagonists. What do you think of them? Do you agree that they are bad, or do you disagree? Are there any other protagonists you want to add to this list? Come on, let's talk about them in the comment section down below. As always, a like and subscribe will be most welcome, and if you're feeling particularly giddy about these anime recommendations, that super thanks button is always ready to be pressed by you any moment now. Yep, any and all support is genuinely appreciated, and with that said, I'll see you guys in my next video.